Tribe, how are you? So, what an interesting day it's been. I actually went live this morning and in the end couldn't finish the video because of some distractions around me, and I just have been working with emotions today. And then finally, there's this clear space where I feel really inspired to just go back to step number one. Go back to step number one and just be really grateful, and how useful that is as a practice when we can tune into our beingness. And no matter what, no matter how much sort of perceived chaos, anger, fear, whatever we're in, whatever stew or soup that we're in, to just step back from it all and be grateful. Be grateful for existence, be grateful for aliveness, be grateful for the breath, be grateful for your heartbeat. You know, just this idea when we can really detach from our circumstances and be that presence, you know, with all that is such a powerful practice in the present moment for, attuning to our essential self, attuning to a bigger part of ourselves, you know, that really is that creative channel that serves us in the flow and serves one another in a really miraculous and wonderful way. You know, it's reminding ourselves that our greatest joy is our service, and yet the paradox is that we still, you know, bump up against our reality. We still kind of hit up against it in a way of thinking, you know, what's going on? Because it can feel so heightened, it can feel so pressurized when we really start to pay attention to those feelings, and when we really endeavor this love, this higher call, as it were, or a deeper call for greater peace and serenity and grace and love and abundance. You know, we have a desire for these experiences and for these feelings, and yet so easily we distract ourselves from just facing and sitting with the feelings and being grateful for even those intensities, even those darknesses, those densities, right? And our ability to really love and embrace the totality of who we are, who we've been, all that we are, and all that we're going to become on this certain timeline, or this sort of incarnation or physical embodiment that we're having an experience in. So as long as we're having this experience, it's our kind of call to experience greater levels of joy, connectivity, belongingness, and unity as a desired state of being within ourselves, so that we're experiencing less disparity. We're experiencing less of those push-pull and pressurized situations, because essentially we've just created more lightness and space from within ourselves. So one, we start to attract more lightness and space in our realities, and then two, we keep going with the work, we build momentum, and eventually with continued emotional storming and presence, we can really enlighten the body. And so we're simply not attracting that into our reality in the same way, in the same sort of unconscious, heavy, foggy way. It just becomes a little bit lighter. We can sort of be with the distraction and then end the video and just say, okay, that's not going to work today. And this is reflecting back to me, where I'm being asked to let go of certain environments or certain situations, and then kind of rooting it out and digging it out throughout the day, throughout the moments of what is this really asking of me, and why have I created this, and then liberating oneself, liberating myself from that pressure, liberating myself from that feeling of restriction ultimately, and knowing that as we move through that, we simply do. We are going to take another leap. We're going to be asking ourselves to push through another barrier, which again, it would appear that every time we kind of rise up, there's a sort of a swell of contrast that we have to look at, we have to observe, and then observing it in a conscious way, in a less reactive way, which with each cycle helps us to uplift higher and helps us to do the practice with more clarity and more awareness of the subtleties of how we're working with our energy field, right? And it's certainly when we start to manifest very clear imaginations, very clear visions, like when they are just, manifesting in our reality that which we held in our imagination. That's the real juice of like when we know the momentum's building for us. And there again, the gratitude, it's almost like a cycle. You know, we can be working with all of these deeper aspects and judgments and forgiveness and you know, living intuition and doing all this visioning and stuff, and yet on a very, very simple level, our daily gratitude practice and our ability to sit in meditation and really enjoy being alive, and then honoring the fact that where there is fear, where there is density, where there's shame inside, where we're carrying these bits on our bodies and in our minds and in our thoughts, that we have that ability to just keep shining light and have faith. Keep shining light and have faith that you are transforming by loving the wound, by loving that which you hate, by loving the shame within you, by loving all of the guilt. And in fact, by being grateful for the experience of that, knowing that you're undergoing a transformational process which will liberate you from that pain and suffering. And so it is, and so it is. So all we can do is really remain connected to ourselves and have faith and love ourselves to the best of our ability. And that's really true. It really is just the best of our ability. And with each passing cycle, as we continue to keep shining light and sort of seeing our patterns, the more liberated we become from them. And simultaneously, the more our dreams, the more our real reality, or our real desired reality, starts to make manifest in our physical reality, which then gives us the ammunition inside ourselves to keep going with the work when there is doubt, when there is fear, when there is insecurity, or when past patterns seem to be taking hold of us again. It is all within us. It really, truly is. And it's in our inner capacity to shift the dialogue from within ourselves, take more responsibility for the world that we're creating, integrate it from within, and transform it and uplift it. And that enlightens us. That is what shines and radiates from within us in the truth of our being. And then that spark really does awaken people naturally around us. It reminds us all that there's something bigger, greater, and more expansive for us when we have the courage to face our fears and break through them and transform them. So you guys, I hope that was useful to you. Apologies for the delay, but all is well. I hope that you are well. Sending you big hugs and big love. I look forward to speaking to you real soon. Take care, you guys. Bye-bye.